But talk about something that I always have to ask people as well during the podcast that I think is really important is how you've all been finding things lately, like your mental, your health and stuff. It's been okay. Like kind of back to front again. So start with you, Kat. Though, you're working as well. How have you been finding things though? In general, though, you've been okay.
I'm fine. I'm still
Yeah.
fine. I feel like every time we speak,
Mm.
I rarely have anything good to say from like a family health perspective. I don't want to make things dark or sad. I've lost quite a few people this year. And there's people in my family that I've lost. Currently, my brother today just got admitted
Really?
into hospital. He's got COVID.
Oh,
So
sorry.
it just continues. It
It
just
does.
continues, and I cannot wait for all of this to be over. And I just hope that this thing just stops taking lives and stops destroying families and stops stealing people's incomes and
Mm.
livelihoods, because I think we're all just pretty sick of it.
We are.
Yeah,
We
I'm in
are.
good health, thankfully.
God.
But yeah, it's challenging mentally when you feel like you have to stay strong because of everything else that's going on around. And I'm really lucky. I've got such a supportive partner, and my job is my boss is really open and flexible, and really supportive as well. So I've got a really, really good support network around me. I'm just ready for it to be over.
Me too. I just hopefully I'll probably get soon ASAP as well, though. Honestly,
Thank you.
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. How about you, Jade, as well? How you been getting on with things, though, in general?
Generally okay. You know, I have
Yeah.
you have your days where you just go.
Mm.
It's just, I guess it's just for me, it's just kind of recognizing the signs of if you kind of feel, because I'm quite a kind of happy chipper person anyway, so therefore it can get missed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Makes sense. Yeah, kind of. So I think because like in the before times, if there were kind of, if you have bouts of sadness or anxiety or anything, I just kind of push on and kind of, but also as a musician doing what we do, you kind of put a bit of a front on in a sense, because you just want to do the job, enjoy yourself, make friends, get on with people, and you can, if you're not careful, these things can be missed, you know. So I think particularly in the past 6-7 months, where we've been so reliant on having to try and adapt, and for me, I'm just trying to get to grips with how to make social media work for myself as a musician, you know, where like Facebook and so, I'm sure it's the same for you guys. Facebook and such kind of came when I was already in the middle of my degree, so I'm like, oh, well, I'm old, but my 2 younger sisters, they're really great at it, but but when you do that, you feel like, or at least I feel like, you have to still put a facade of everything's fine, I'm just making it work, you know. So I think it's just, as long as we talk to people and keep yourselves grounded and talk to other people and just have really real conversations, I suppose that's
Definitely.
how we can muddle on, you know.
Definitely.
If any of that waffle
No, it makes complete sense, because I realize as well that I've mentioned this before in the podcast actually, that just talking to people just on a grounded level or during the podcast really helps people. Just to talk to, even if it's for like 10, 20 minutes, half an hour. I mean, my last episode we did, we spoke for an hour and a half, just non-stop. We just flowed so nicely, and afterwards, we both just felt like a huge weight was lifted off our shoulders. I got things off our chest as well. And a lot of people just thank me after, saying thank you just for taking the time to talk to me and listen to me. And I feel so much better now. I think that's what everyone needs, just that little conversation, don't they? Just to get things off their chest and talk and have someone listen to them as well.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think it's, yeah, even if you just talk about nothing, just...
No, that nothing can help now. Yeah. But how about you, Jamie, as well?
Well, I mean, again, same with, I think, what Jade was kind of touching upon. As musicians, we put up a real front about, I think, so pre-COVID again, it would be like, if there was anything, be like, no, I'm absolutely fine. Like, you know, just carry on with, and, you know, and again, I feel like I'm kind of I'm normally quite happy, kind of bubbly kind of guy. Again, things can kind of be missed, but now more so, I think, been a bit more open about talking when things haven't gone so well. But I think just have opportunities to actually just speak, which is what Zoom has been great for, because that has happened a lot more. And I think you doing the podcast, I think, is a great way of actually keeping us all in check, and two, just talking about things that aren't always so great, you know, and just even just having a little rant about anything, really.
Yeah,
to be honest,
do it.
you know, we always like to have a good rant, don't we? Get it off, and then it's like, oh my god, why are we so upset about that? But actually, it's those things that I think we're doing more during these times, which I think is good for our mental health. So
yeah, of course it is.
I think so. It's just about actually talking and being able to speak, you know, to your friends or whatever, and just like, and actually people accepting and wanting to listen to you and go, oh, it's okay, like, yeah, I'm here to listen, but you're not, you know, don't dismiss it, you know. It's kind of like, accept it, but then you can kind of work through it in a constructive way. So I think there are more issues, I think, that can build up, but I think there is more scope to talk about it a lot more, and I think that's good in a way. So yeah,
a bit more open about it all, thankfully.
Yeah.
There's still stigma, but there's less stigma.
I was about to say that. Yeah, it was true about that stigma, that taboo as well, about people being kind of, in a way, kind of embarrassed to talk about things that they might.
To talk about things because of how, again, as musicians, for me anyway, there's always the worry of, but what if people judge me? You know?
Yeah, it's true that I've got to that point in my life where I don't care anymore. Like, if it helps me, then what's that?
What's the point when I just don't care?
I don't care. It's true. Like, I think that's what people get worried about, is they get so worried about what other people think about them that it affects them big time. And
I think also as musicians generally, I think it's the idea of demanding perfection of yourself. You know, like, if I know that if I've sang something, like, I can hear myself if there's even a slight, not even like an off note, if there's anything that just isn't absolutely perfect, I would be like, no, it's terrible, it's the worst thing ever, no one could hear it, it's awful. Whereas I just think that in the industries or in the things that people do, that, as you said, you know, they're doing it for themselves. But I think for some reason musicians, maybe it's, you know, it comes from, you know, like, I grew up playing piano and French horn, and maybe it comes from, you know, there's notes and there's a score, and maybe it's that idea that you either hit it or you don't. I don't know, but I do think that, you know, we're always trying to, like, strive for perfection.